Hey guys, this is part 2 of the making of the Wonder Woman dress. Part 1 is this basically where I made the base dress following a simplicity pattern. I don't know how simple I would say it is. I guess it's simple if you're using a less what's the word? A less temperamental fabric. So I was finding this project very difficult, and I'll post some Instagram stories from my Instagram here now, that I was struggling with this project and struggling with where to go after making the base dress. So this is the base dress. It's all fine and good, but then when it comes to draping, I was lost, so lost. And a major thing that made this really challenging is that I don't have a dress form, nor do I have someone else to drape on or someone to drape on me. So it was difficult in that respect. I started out with cutting 2 really long rectangles, sewing them into tubes. So that's what I'm doing here. And now that they're in really long tubes, I was able to start draping on myself. Now the reason why I sewed them into tubes is so that there would be no raw edges visible on these bodice draped pieces, and I did hide the seam, so the seam would be the one that's facing the body. Yeah, so once I had figured out, well, I hadn't figured out anything at this point, I just decided to sew gather one edge of the tube and sew that to the back of the dress where the zip is. So that's just at the bottom of the V, the deep V in the back of the dress. Yeah, so tacking that down, and then I also hand stitched and gathered the shoulder pieces, so where I thought the shoulders would be, and I did that to about an index finger length, and then put the dress back on. There was a lot of putting the dress on and off in this process, but you got to do what you got to do, right? And yeah, just making sure that the gathers lay in the right place and stuff. And I also decided to add some elastic to the shoulder strap because that kept slipping down. And then I was happy with what happened the first time, so I decided to repeat the same step of gathering the fabric, sewing it to the back of the dress where the V is, and the shoulder gathering as well for the other side. So now I have those 2 really long tubes draped over each shoulder, starting from the back of the dress, and then I had to figure out how it was going to drape in the front of the dress. So what I did was did some gathering stitches for where the waist is, also again like a finger length. I don't know why I keep using my finger as a measurement. And then I was able to start draping, and I was holding a needle and thread and trying to sew at the same time while the fabric was on me, but that didn't really work. Yeah, there was a lot of like taking out stitches as well, so don't follow completely what I've done. This is just to give you an idea of what I went through, and maybe seeing all the mistakes I made will help you if you want to tackle this dress. So I pinned in random areas along the waist where I felt it draped nicely. Yeah, so a lot of pins here and there, just trying to figure out placement, really. Yeah, I'm not sure what else I can really say about this other than that, it was really hard to get the fabric draping nice at the waist in the front. Yeah, so this is what I ended up with. It's actually quite simple when you really think about it. It just depends on the fabric you use, what your result will be. I did end up buying some extra fabric, and that's for the draping part on the shoulder, and then also those two draped parts on the back, just where the sword is that drape down. So those were the only additions that I didn't get filmed because I was rushed for time. And yeah, it turned out well. I've also got the making of the sword video coming up next, so make sure to stick around for that. Until then, I'll see you later. Bye!